Birds of Prey and the fantabulous emancipation of one Harley Quinn is rip-roaring, hard-hitting, side-splitting mayhem, and I love it. The action sequences in this film can only be described as balls to the freakin' wall, and also people's legs get broken. Seriously, there are enough broken legs in this film to make a horse doctor faint. Every action and reaction is felt physically due to the stellar choreography and direction, and the creativity on where to set these action scenes is out the wazoo. This whole film, in fact, is out the wazoo. I don't understand how nearly every joke in this film lands, and lands like this, but they do. I'm especially fond of one recurring visual gag in particular, but I think the comedy of Birds of Prey works so well because Harley's personality is pitch perfect. She is supremely goofy without ever becoming obnoxious or unlikable, and that's a great microcosm of the film itself. Birds of Prey performs this tightrope act of zany shenanigans and over-the-top outrageousness without ever seeming like it's trying too hard. Much of this success is owed to the performances, and while every member of the main cast plays well off of one another in some unique or interesting way, there's 3 performances I want to highlight here. Margot Robbie, as expected, is brilliant as Harley Quinn. There wasn't a single goofy Harleyism that didn't work for me, like not a single botched delivery in the entire film, and I think most of that is owed to Margot Robbie's confidence and comfort in this role. Ewan McGregor as the villain, Roman Sionis, was also a standout. Even when Sionis is in control, there's this painful insecurity always bubbling up to the surface, and McGregor conveys that expertly largely through his body language. But the real standout is Mary Elizabeth Winstead as Huntress. She is sublime. The film posits that maybe a person who witnessed the massacre of her entire family and then spent the next decade training to be a cold-blooded assassin might have a bit of trouble with social interaction. Now, Birds of Prey isn't perfect, and I do have a few complaints. The big one is that the characters and the character relationships could have been explored further. I think the groundwork was definitely there for a more character-driven story to be told, but the film generally prioritizes maximum fun factor over emotional stakes. And while that decision undoubtedly works for this movie, I still would have appreciated an extra scene or two with the main cast to more meaningfully build their relationships. There's also a tad too much voiceover in the film. It's not that the voiceover, like the rest of the film, ever verges into obnoxious or eye-rolling territory, but rather that the film occasionally tells you something that it's already shown you, which just feels unnecessary. But in the face of what Birds of Prey gets right, these are minor blemishes on the overall experience. If there's any one thing you should know about Birds of Prey, it's that there's a scene where Harley Quinn bounces a metal baseball bat off of the ground in order to ricochet it off of a man's face in order to catch the baseball bat out of midair. Nuff said.